Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, welcome back. Okay, now we move on to the topic for the week 1, chapter 1, and also chapter 2 this week. But at this video, we are going to cover about chapter 1 first. Okay, this one I already briefed to you last week, so we just can skip. After this, you can read by your own. I'm also will give this slide in the Google Classroom. Okay. Alright, next is chapter 1. Okay, we are going to talk about the introduction to the organization of information, the concept of organizing information, and organization of information in different contexts, which is we look at on the library, archive, and museum. So, as an introduction, why we need to organize information? We have to ask this question to us. Why? Alright. Is it necessary or compulsory for us to organize the information, or we can just put it later on, or we can just find out by our own, okay, by searching, looking here and there and so on, or we prefer to make it in a most simple ways of finding that kind of information, because there is a need to retrieve. We want to get it back later, okay, in the near future. Okay, so what happens if it is not organized? Definitely, it will be difficult to find anything or retrieve information. That is the most crucial part, okay, of our life. You put things, or you put the documents, you put the information here and there. So later on, you're facing the difficulties of finding that kind of information. So who the one who should be blamed? Okay, definitely is yourself. All right. So why do we need to organize information? Because we need information in all aspects of our life. We do need that kind of information. Maybe not now, but in the near future. Who knows? Okay. And retrieval of information is dependent upon its having been organized. The way you organize the information is determine the way of finding it back or getting it back. Okay. The good ways of sorting the information. So the most faster ways you will get back the information, right? So Merriam-Webster Collect Dictionary gives several sense in its definition of organize. Right? The one we are interested in is to form into a coherent unity or functioning whole, integrate, and to arrange elements into a whole of interdependent parts. Okay, we arrange it into the whole of interdependent part. This information might be related to other information. Your birth certificate will show you who is your parents, for example. Okay, your date of birth, okay, place of birth, and so on. That might give info to the certain people that might be in the near future want to find who are you, where you come from. Okay. So what kind of skills that you have might be related to the certain area of you are staying at now. Okay, for example. So the need to organize, this is a basic drive in human, is to organize. Okay, psychologists tell us that baby's brain organize image into categories such as faces or foods. Okay, they organize based on the image. Small children do a lot of organizing and matching during plays. They are sorting that kind of information. They are sorting vehicles with the vehicles. Okay, so they are sorting based on a category of each the materials or the things that they play with. Okay, the toys itself. So as we grow, humans develop more sophisticated cognitive abilities to categorize, to recognize patterns, to sort, to relate, and to create groups of things and ideas. Okay, Stephen Hannett, cognitive scientist, said cognition is a categorization. Okay, the way of categorizing the things into a groups. Okay, foods with foods, toys with toys, for example. Okay. So some people operate on maxim, which is a place for everything and everything in its place. Okay, meaning that they cannot begin to work until the work surface is clear and all objects are put into its place, and they have to organize before beginning a new project. Otherwise, they cannot think, function, or give ideas. Okay, certain people have that kind of difficulty. Okay, difficulty in terms of you cannot do any work while your table is full of the things that are not relevant with your work. Certain people, all right. But we do also have a certain people that do not care about it at all. They don't have, they fine, they're okay with that kind of situation. It depends on yourself, okay? So why we organize? We organize to understand the world around us. We want to know, okay, what happened. Okay, what are the steps? Why you are doing your assignment? You cannot put the reference at the first page of your assignment. Okay, that is the back of your assignment. For example, okay, we organize. We want to save time. We want to save time to get it back. Okay, we want to make it in the proper ways. Okay, let's say you want to go for interview. Okay, you got some certain interview, so you bring your what you call as a resume. Okay, so you bring your curriculum vitae and then you give it to the interviewee. So if they see that this is the way of you sorting the information, which is not in the proper ways, it's quite hard for them to find that the important information about yourself. So later on, who are going to lose the job? Definitely is you. Am I right? Okay. So we organize so that we can bring similar things together into groups. Okay, we make it into groups. Okay, the things that should be under a skill, so put it under skills. The thing that should be under siblings, put it under sibling. Okay, the things that you should organize based on your family is based on your family. Alright, most of all we organize because we will need to retrieve it back later. So retrieval of information is dependent upon its having been organized. Means that information is needed in all aspects of our life. For example, for health purposes, I give you a scenario. We do have a patient A. Okay, we call it as a patient A. So patient A might have a critical illness. Okay, critical illness. So patient A need do a follow-up treatment. From time to time, he or she should go for the treatments. Okay, so for the previous information or the previous treatment, the doctor should keep it into one folder. Otherwise, you cannot know what kind of treatment that you should give after this. Okay, what are the kind of the follow up? Okay, what kind of the things that we should see on the patient itself. That's why we need to organize it. Okay, and to understand each other. Okay, to learn about one relationship, to fix things that are broken, and also to expand our knowledge. Definitely, that's why. Okay, that's why retrieval of information is quite very important in our life. Some of this information are already assimilated and it is one's knowledge reserve, while other information need to be absorbed. If this information is not organized, it is difficult or impossible to find. In fact, you might throw it into the dustbin. Okay, there is okay the thing that our mom always having bubbling on that. Okay, you don't organize it, you put it anywhere and everywhere, so she don't know that it's might important to your study, for example. So just throw it into the dustbin. That is not her problem, that is yours. Okay, so we have many tools that are organized to aid in the process of finding information that we need. For example, telephone, books, directory, and so on. This one you can just read by yourself. And organization of information also allow us to save for posterior copies of all kind of work from human, such as book. Okay, organization of information. Okay, artworks, sounds recording, film, correspondence, government documents, and a lot of more. Okay, libraries, archive, museum, and other cultural institutions have doing this for many years and now move into the online world of the internet. Okay. So the concept of organizing information, operations which recorded information is organized according to established standard. Okay, make it readily identifiable and retrievable, and to proper organize information in library environment, librarians need to do indexing, classification, descriptive and subject cataloging are some of the activities involved in the bibliographic control. Remember about bibliographic control? Last semester, IMD 124, you are being taught about bibliographic control. Okay, so it's better for you to look back on that notes. Okay, to understand what is bibliographic control. Okay. So why organize information? Because the quantity of information keep growing. Okay, keeps growing. Alright, from time to time. Okay, quantity of information outside library is enormous. Definitely, the internet is fundamentally unorganized. we cannot stop everybody to give their ideas. We cannot stop everybody to explore anything. They can just put by your own. They have their own interpretation, for example. Okay, that might lead to the new knowledge. Who knows? Okay, information changes very quickly. Collecting and organizing the world knowledge seems to have become an impossible ambitions. Okay, because information changes very quickly. You cannot collect the world knowledge. Okay, we cannot. We can just manage our knowledge. Okay, not the world. And then collecting and organizing the world knowledge seems to become an information ambition. Definitely, all right. So the need to organize information is needed in all aspects of our life. Okay, allow us to keep usable records that might be we need it in the near future. We organize because we need to retrieve in order to make information available to people. We organize it in a useful ways. Okay, we do have our standards. Okay, we choose to use AACR, LCSH. What is it? It's Library of Congress subject heading. SLSH, seriously subject ending, and so on. Okay. Remember, library operates on maxim a place for everything and everything in its place. Okay. So why need to organize again information in library? Because collection of library materials have grown. So the problem of identifying is various method for arranging and creating catalog has been applied. Okay, and arranging book by size and color is no more suitable. Okay, no more suitable with the environment of the library nowadays. Okay, so as the number of books is increased, more urgent for rational system be devised for cataloging them. We classify it based on the subject. Okay, for example, Z for code Z for the library science. So you don't have to browse from A to W X Y, okay, to get the books or the materials about the library science. We just go directly to the Z. That is how, okay, the system make us become more easier to find the information. All right, that's all for this week. Thank you, guys.